to another edition of your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show.
Question is, did she subscribe?
Right.
She's down on YouTube.
Representing from the Boondocks. What up, Jobo?
Hello, what's up? Happy Wednesday.
What up? She repping her Hey Sister Soldier look right now. Everybody give it up for Bunny. What's happening, Bunny?
What up? Happy hump day.
T-Bone, what's going on, brother?
I'm back, and I don't know about better than ever, but I'm back.
What is going on, party people? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. I think that may be on a highlight reel tape. And be glad that you are tuning in live along with the millions and millions of the platform sports talk show fans on once again your Wednesday night Sports Delight.
Really?
Or
Brinks truck backing up in his driveway with 97 million. There you go.
all you hear is this.
It's always somebody who's doing something to give back and letting the next generation.
Say straight.
Have me syrup on here.
Come on now, don't hit me too up. You know I get emotional.
But people watching around the world, no pressure. And we already have our favorite fan, Miss Williams, saying, welcome, Brandon.
Well, how are you? Hi, Ms. Williams.
A guy who tried to give it his all and put on for the city, to be truthful. Because like I said, I'm St. Louis die hard.
The views of Smooth does not reflect the Platform Sports Talk Show or its sponsors.
What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth, and it feels good to be back. Another week, another Wednesday, another great next 2 hours or so of your life goes down right now on the platform sports talk show. I am not alone. Got the homie from the Boondocks, Joe Bo. What's happening?
What up? Happy Wednesday.
Rock on. Yeah, happy Wednesday.
Oh, man.
You know what?
Oof.
I'm trying to figure out, are we in St. Louis or in San Diego right now? What's going on with this weather?
I think this is supposed to be like one of the last days that it's supposed to be like this, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
And that's probably going to be cold, and then in about a week or so, probably be 80 again. You know how it be here.
Man, I mean, I had on shorts when I went to physical therapy, and it's like, let's see, 9 more days to my birthday. So it's like, wow, I'm outside wearing shorts in this time of year in St. Louis. Like, this is crazy. Last week, like you said, it was cold. It was like, okay, you know, it was so cold you saw the frost on the ground, early in the morning. Yeah. And now you like, man, we can have a little pool party going on right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like I don't hate it, but this time of year, I don't like it. It makes us feel like crap. And, we're all just trying to get in the mood for the holidays and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm going to need it to fix itself.
Yeah, it was, I believe, 2 years ago on Christmas Day. My wife and I both took photos at our back patio deck with shorts on. We was like, this is crazy. So you never know, they say supposed to be a good cold winter. We'll find out. But
last year we barely had any snow.
Exactly.
Like
We had like had one little week where it's probably a little something, but outside of that, it was just, frigid cold. But it's all good. But once again, y'all are tuned in to your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. Go ahead and give them them follows on them internets, them social media sites. You can email us if y'all know someone that would be an awesome, and I mean incredible, amazing guest on the platform sports talk show. You can email us at platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. We on that Insta at Platform Sports Talk. Of course, on Facebook, the Platform Sports Talk Show. On that X at 314 Sports Talk. And of course, Joe Bo, they go on YouTube, they subscribe and click on that
bell.
Because anytime we go live,
you and your mom and your daddy and your cousin will be notified.
Me and you, your mother and your cousin too. Here we go. All that. And then of course, the shows are archived on Facebook, on the X, on YouTube, and on Roku as well. Just add us as a channel on Roku, put in the platform sports talk show, and boom, you are blessed on your Roku device. And if you can't see us for some reason, you can also listen to us on Hot 365 Radio, where it is always. Matter of fact, I'm about to go to the app right now, Joe Bo. I'm going to go to the Hot 365 Radio app, and I'm going to see if I can hear myself. So let me see. Go to the app. There we go. Now, you hear that?
Does sound.
I hear. I mean, that sounds amazing. I mean, just the surround sound, the clarity. I mean, man, we sound good. You can go on their app, whether it's on iPhone or on Apple or on Android. You can go ahead and just put in Hot 365 Radio. You'll see the app, and boom, you will be blessed. And of course, every first Wednesday of the month, last week, man, ladies' night goes down. It was an amazing show. Shouts out to the ladies, Joe Bo, Bunny, Michelle held things down, and of course, Coach Willis as well. Also, shouts out to Annie, who's teaching graduate students in college right now. So that's why you haven't seen her in quite some time, but she'll be back. Don't worry, she'll be back. And every last Wednesday of the month, you have the Man Cave. Shouts out to Stan. Shouts out to Sadal, T-Bone, Craig Black, Mario, and they had a very special guest on the show, Yuri Collins from St. Louis University. He had an amazing interview. If you didn't see it, check it out. But yes, we're doing big things on your Wednesday night Sports Delight, and we have our favorite fan in the building. Shouts out to Miss Dub.
I'm
Show
now
love.
Bo. Well, how do I edit my name on?
You graduated, you know what I'm saying, to Bo now.
I'm just Bo. Hey, Miss Dubs, happy Wednesday. Hope you're getting ready for the holidays. Not stressing about it.
That's my Bo right there.
That's my Bo. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So we're doing big things, y'all, on a Wednesday. And before we get to the sports, Joe Bo, just how things been going in your world.
Busy. Shoot. I mean, this weekend kicked my butt. Like Friday, Metallica night 1. Didn't get home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. Like I said on my post on Facebook, that was a bucket list, thing to cross off right there. Love Metallica. Grew up listening to Metallica with my uncles and my aunt, my brother, and they're 60 now, but it was still just, they put on a great show. They were amazing, and it's crazy. Like that entire time, like you just feel your chest just banging because of all the rock and the guitars and the drums, and it was it was badass. But Friday night, didn't get home until 2 o'clock, and then got up kind of early the next morning. That I don't take naps. After I had Mia on leave, I think I took 1 nap because I just don't like to miss anything, and I fell asleep. Took a nap with Mia, took a nap, and then I was sitting on the couch Saturday night, and I woke up to Brendan waking me up at like midnight. So I passed out on the couch twice. Like I can't do that stuff anymore. But then Sunday night, I went with my aunt. We left a little bit earlier, so we beat the traffic and got home at a much better time Sunday. But yeah, it was amazing. If you ever had the chance to see them, go do it because they put on a great show.
Yeah, you know what? And this might surprise you, but I wouldn't mind going to a rock concert, especially the band Creed.
Creed?
I'm serious. I used to love Creed when I was younger, so I wouldn't mind because I know they have a concert coming next year. They're gonna be at the amphitheater. I'm thinking about checking them out because that was them. Then I like Hootie and the Blowfish. I love them. I did when I was younger. But I wouldn't mind checking out Creed. I think Daughtry going to be there. He was on American Idol.
Yeah,
years back.
I've seen Daughtry live once or twice. He's really good. Besides Daughtry, and then I saw Breaking Benjamin in a concert a little while ago. Other than that, like those are like my most rock type of concerts, So like this here though was like it was, Metallica, it's metal, and some of the openers they had Pantera open up night 1, and they're that screaming, and and then there's Ice, and then Ice Nine Nails they opened up on Sunday, and they like every song apparently is based off of like a horror film. And so like their first song they had like zombies on the stage, and one of their last songs they had clowns, which I'm not a big fan, so I went to go get another beer when that happened. But it was cool though. It was interesting and entertaining, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Everyone put on a great show, and but yeah, it was awesome. I wouldn't mind doing it again.
That's what's up. And yeah, my weekend was busy as well from last Friday to Sunday. My company, Smoooth Productions, I just see on your screen. Go to the website right now. But we provided production in regards to sound, in regards to streaming, for this real estate conference that was in South City, and it was amazing. Shouts out to Rich Groves. Shouts out to Metro STL Homes. It was a gateway to freedom event, and there was just a lot of real estate investors in the building that was just giving out their tips in regards to how you want to get this, how you want to get that. And it was educational. It was challenging at some time because it was some things that's out of our control that we had to work around, but we made it happen. And you probably saw the video on social media already. For those who didn't, just check me out on social media. But shouts out to Sadal and to DJ Steve Jenks for holding me down, helping me out with everything with the production. Everyone loved it. It was a vibe, and look forward to doing more and more big things with Smoooth Productions. Because what they say now, what the Fat Joe say on Versus, yesterday's price is not today's prices. 2024 is going up. Let's get it. All right, speaking of let's get it, let me just kill this little net right here. Right there. Look at that net. I just got it. Bam, hold on. Bam, I killed the net. On the screen, y'all. I ain't playing no games. Think you got me. Let's go. I ain't playing no game. I just killed a net on live TV.
I was like, me and Bernard always talk about Kevin Hart. He's like, it's a pregnant net. It was a big one, pregnant net.
I just killed the net on live TV. So don't arrest me, insect officers. But let's get right into some sports. And Jobo, it's been a minute since we did this, but you now have my attention. What sports stories has your attention?
All right. Well, I'll start off with like a sad one because I didn't see it in the rundown. If I did, I'm blind. But let's give it to City SC. Great first year in the Lou, repping St. Louis. They got bounced in the first round of the playoffs, but hey, no one thought they were going to be there this year. It was a very fun year. Klaus says he wants to be here next year moving forward. And, a lot of guys made it seem like that, why wouldn't you want to be here? They had a great time here in St. Louis. So sucks how it ended, but I mean, shoot, you couldn't really ask for more. No one expected all that.
So for me, so I'm glad that you got that part out of the way, Joe, because yes, I appreciate the season that we had. It was amazing. No one saw it coming in regards to the success of being the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, going to the playoffs. However, in my Tim McKernan voice, what's going on with St. Louis teams in the postseason? You get in the postseason and you out the very first round. What's going on? What's happening? Talk to me, Joe. Talk to me.
I don't think we can put City in the same conversation as the Blues and the Cardinals just yet, because I mean, come on. No one thought they were going to be here. People expect the Cardinals to be there every year, and it didn't happen. And, for a little bit there, we've grown to expect the Blues to at least make it in the first round, at least make it. And that hasn't happened. Miss Dub said, if you bring that back up, she said, at least we made the playoffs, which is more than the Cards and Blues. So, I mean, who would have thunk that in 2023, City SC and the Battlehawks would have brought us more joy than the Blues and the Cardinals for St. Louis sports. I mean, it sucks. And I mentioned it last week on Ladies' Night that it's like we've been so busy lately. I haven't been watching every game, but I noticed they kind of started to fumble there at the end of the year, and they didn't go in hot. So hopefully we come back in with about the same team next year, maybe some improvements, and run it back. Hopefully do a little bit better.
So my only concern going to next year is that teams now got the book on St. Louis City SC, and how will St. Louis City SC respond after teams are going to adjust their game of play, because now they know how City SC plays. I just hope that they can make those adjustments and keep that momentum going, and not come from being the best team in the West to being bottom tier and they can't figure things out because now everyone is caught up to them. So I hope they don't get to that second year. You know how sometimes you have that 2-year funk or whatever it is, where you just kind of have a big regression. I hope that St. Louis City SC doesn't get to that because, as you said, it was a great season and we made a buzz and definitely made an impact for MLS. So I will give them that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shouts out, appreciate everything they done for St. Louis and for this MLS. But yeah, it did suck to lose the first round, again, especially against Sporting KC, the supposed, rival. But like I said, I just hope
they've
year,
been here since the 70s. We've been here 1 year, so I mean, it's bound to happen.
Yeah, so I just hope next year, they don't lose that momentum and they keep winning. In regards to what has my attention, college basketball is back. I'm excited. The reason why Bunny isn't on the show tonight is because she's currently at St. Louis University at the Chapin Arena, watching her alma mater, Lincoln University, play against SLU right now, and SLU is winning 15-5. But Bunny, hope that you're having a wonderful time. That's why she is not on this evening. But yes, SLU is back, Mizzou is back, of course, Illinois, and so many other schools. I watched Mizzou game on, I think it was on Monday, and SLU. Both teams won. They pretty much have a revamped roster, both teams. And Mizzou, man, I didn't tell you, but I met the head coach, Dennis Gates, at the Mizzou football game 2 weeks ago. The wife and I was getting some food. Shouts out, wifey, love you. And he just walked past this, with his assistant or whoever he was with. And I shook his hand, say good luck, good luck next season, or should I say this upcoming season. And he said, I appreciate it. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's Dennis Gates. But yeah, watch out for Mizzou because they made it to the second round of the playoff. I'm sorry, of the tournament last year, and lost in I think it was round 32. Lost against Princeton before going to the Sweet 16.
So that's another thing I'll say. Mizzou and SLU in 2023. I think they gave a lot of St. Louis fans something to cheer about more than the Cardinals and the Blues. So I mean, we're spoiled.
Definitely.
We're spoiled. We know there's some good sports stuff going on right now in St. Louis.
It is, which puts more pressure on the Cardinals, but we'll get to that later on. But yeah, once again, college basketball season is in full effect. I'm loving it and can't wait to see what's in store with these local teams and, of course, just around the country. So that's it. Let's get into our next topic.
Can I say my other you got my attention real quick?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So I don't know if you got the pictures that I sent you, but I said the SC one was more sad. This one makes me happy because Yankees fans are in shambles right now. I do not like the New York Yankees. I like seeing their fans miserable. And the GM and the owner spoke to media yesterday at the GM meetings, and Hal Steinbrenner, the owner, was talking about how last year it's not good. It was very bad. I don't know if you have the picture or not of Hal Steinbrenner that I sent.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
You didn't get it here. Let me see. Hold on. I sent it on the chat. Let me see. I can just read what he said. All right. Well, Hal Steinbrenner said it was awful. We accomplished nothing. And he went on to say that being over 500 is not the goal that's expected, and it was awful. It was a terrible year. That was in the afternoon yesterday, and then in the evening last night, Brian Cashman, who Yankees fans just cannot stand, said, I think we're pretty fucking good, personally. Talking about all the way up from the front office, all the way down. He thinks they're pretty good. They're good to go. And he's mentioned how, he gets trashed a lot about the Joey Gallo trade, but then 2 playoff teams went to pick him up. But he didn't play in the playoffs with those playoff teams. And then Sonny Gray didn't pitch good in New York, and now he's a Cy Young finalist. So he thinks that he gets a bad rep for trades and whatnot because players didn't play good at that time. But and then also something Hal Steinbrenner said, I can't remember the exact quote, but he's pretty much saying that Aaron Judge is right next to him when he's making these decisions. I don't know if you saw my ex last night, if that sounds dumb, but It pretty much sounds like Aaron Judge, who just got $400 million last year, is Tom Brady, and he's gonna be helping the Yankees making these free agent moves and these trade moves because he's gonna be the one there sitting right next to it whenever they make all these. So I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. I hope they don't do anything big, and Yankees Twitter just melts and melts and melts because I love it.
And that's the thing that I don't like, no matter what sport it is. Yeah, you're getting paid a lot, we understand, but you should not be the person in the room making decisions on who they should bring in. Period.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's why you pay the baseball of the president of baseball operations or the GM. That is the right that they get paid, the scouts, etc. That's their job. You know what I'm saying? That's like me asking a host or someone to select me a DJ, but it's not something that they do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
make
like
sure
Judge doesn't get paid to make
right
free agent moves.
Exactly.
It was funny because another thing, he was talking about how they have the smallest analytical team in the AL East. Well, I mean, it's only 5 teams, so And then he also said, Hal Steinbrenner said this one, that Aaron Boone thinks that bunting is going to be a big thing. So moving forward, the New York Yankees, the Bronx Bombers, with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Rizzo. Shoot, I'm trying to think of other people on their team right now. They're going to be bunting. They're going to be bunting their way on base next year. I can think of one person who's going to be able to bunt next year, and that's Anthony Volpe. They also said that they'd stopped practicing bunting like 3 years ago, and now they're just going to bring it back.
All of a sudden, just bring it on back. Like, let's go, let's get it.
I don't know. So I mean, like, it's just crazy because like I don't like the Yankees, but it's mind blowing to me because the Yankees, even though they haven't even played in a World Series since 2009, they're the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're the standard that everyone looks up to. Everyone bows at their feet, and they're talking about bunting more, and their highest paid player is going to be helping them make moves, and their GM thinks that they're pretty fucking good when they had their worst year in 30 years.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely stay tuned for the mess that's going down at the Bronx. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, from a team that did terrible to a team that won the World Series, congratulations to the Texas Rangers. I know, Joe Bo, you probably like, oh my God, how can this happen? The wrong team in Texas won, but they came through and they defeated the Arizona Diamondbacks. I believe the series was 4-1, and it's all she wrote. Adolis Garcia didn't play the last 2 games of the series, I believe, because he had a injury. But Corey Seager Corey Seager did his thing. He showed up, and he's now a 2-time World Series MVP winner. We know that the ratings weren't the best because, of course, no one really wanted to see the Rangers versus Diamondbacks. So the ratings for each game got lower and lower and lower. But overall, what are your thoughts in regards to the World Series?
We got a text chain with family, and I think that was probably one of the most boring World Series I've seen in a long time. Like, we watched every game, so you can add us to the ratings, but it was boring. And I'm not even saying because it was a Texas team that I don't like and a Diamondbacks team that no one thought was going to be there. There was just no excitement. Like game 1 was fun. The walk-off homer by Adolis Garcia. That was awesome. After that, I mean, the D-backs kicked ass in game 2, and then the next 2 or next 3, Rangers just walked all over them. Like, they weren't even close, and I blame you and Michelet talking about the no-hitter last week, because as soon as you guys said that in the chat and out loud, Corey Seager had a little dribbler down the line, and then all hell broke loose. But I mean, I don't know, man. But you might be seeing more of that. Like the D-backs had 2 really good starters, a dominant bullpen, and they made contact. That is how they got there. They did not strike out. They made contact. Good pitching. So you might see this more moving on, especially with how the playoff format is. But I don't know. The playoffs altogether felt really weird. That made it just the World Series just was not enjoyable. Obviously it's enjoyable for the Rangers fans because they won, but even in 2006, I feel like there was some more excitement in that game. Like rookie Verlander and Anthony Reyes going at it game one. Kenny Rogers dominates with tacky stuff on his hand in game two. I'm trying to think. Wayno striking out Brandon Edge to end the series, a rookie closer. The Tigers making horrible moves, and then going into the World Series, you had Detroit newspapers saying Tigers in 3. Like it was all kinds of excitement with a really bad team and a really good team. This time it was a bad team gets a really good team, and it was just boring. So I don't know. I hope next year's a little bit different. If anything, at least go 6 or 7.
My biggest takeaway would be the manager of the Rangers, Bruce Bochy, and just him coming back after being gone for 2 years and just picking up where he left off with San Fran. The man know how to coach. He's not all about being in super analytics or anything. It's all about the feel of the game, and I hope that starts a wave of other managers going back to letting them manage the game, not worrying about what the numbers say. Like, how many times did we see Tavello, the manager from the Diamondbacks, take out a pitcher after the 5th inning because the number said the best we can do is get him to pitch 5 innings, and he was like rocking and rolling. He struck out like 3 guys in a row, and even he was like in the dugout doing the NOCS. He looking like, Coach, what you mean?
Yeah, that was Merrill Kelly. He was pissed.
Yeah, but it's like it's time to get away from telling you ask your coaches, tell me what the numbers say about him being facing the batters the 3rd time around the order. No, go off the field of the game.
And that's the thing, that matters, because there's numbers proving it, but there's also the eye test, which we have said multiple times on this show.
Right.
If there was times this past year when Montgomery was still on our team that we were finally going to get out of a 3-game losing streak, and Montgomery's cruising in the 6th inning, and Ali goes out there, he's under 100 pitches and takes him out. Like, what are you doing? He's your ace. He's a bulldog. Leave him out there. So you had to have the eye test along with the analytics, and that's what Bruce Bochy did.
Yeah, and I loved it. But once again, shouts out to the Rangers.
Did you see Bruce Bochy's wife's comment or quote?
Nah, I didn't see it. What'd she say?
It was something like, whenever he decided he wanted to be a manager again, she's like, I can't remember the exact words, but she's like, what do you want? You're sitting here, you get to play golf every day, like you get to sleep in. What more do you want? Like you're gonna put that, put yourself through all that again after you're just sitting here living life in retirement.
Right. Yep. I mean, but that's how it is when you got that itch still and you love the game. You just got to go back to it, especially when you're successful. It'd be different if you came back in and it was just all, if he was the worst team in all of baseball, then it'd be different. But he proved himself, and the man just know how to win. So once again, shouts out to Bruce Bochy and to the Texas Rangers. Now up next, we have a new segment that I just thought about maybe 2 hours ago. I was like, Joe Bo, get ready for it. And it is called
that's hot. That's hot.
Yes. Oh, that's hot. MLB off-season hot stove talk. And the reason why I want to bring this up, because there's been some news that I wasn't expecting over the last 48 hours, Joe Bo. I'm like, man, we got to talk about this stuff. And one of the first things we're going to talk about is this, because it affects the Cardinals so much. And that's Craig Counsell is the new manager of the Chicago Cubs. When I saw this, I was like, oh my God, the Cubs are being so proactive. Something that Joe Bo, you and I have been saying we want to see from the Cardinals, whether it's managers, whether it's trades, free agency, whatever it is. The Cubs made it happen by getting what people are calling the best manager in the game of baseball in a career council. When you saw the tweet via Ken Rosenthal, who put the report out there, what came to mind to you, Jobo?
I was completely shocked because they still had a manager in David Ross who,
Right.
he managed a good team this year. He, with the exception of the Cubs just completely falling flat on their face the last week and a half of the season, he managed a good year. Like they played good ball. They had a positive defensive runs, everything. Like the pitchers were good, the bats weren't there all the time, but I mean they played good baseball, and I don't know, man. It's just kind of no one expected it. It was very shocking. Um, Everyone thought he was going to be a Mets manager or go back to the Brewers, and this is the thing. I was telling Brendan this last night is we shouldn't be too concerned with it because we've been facing him for like 10 years now, 8 years in our division. But the thing that's concerning is the Cubs have the money, and I'm not even gonna say have the money. They have the will to spend that money more than the Brewers do. And Council, he's been doing a lot of good with very little in Milwaukee. So we'll see now. Like there's been some bad quotes coming out of Milwaukee with, I think there's gonna be some bad blood moving forward with that ownership and everything, because I think they kind of feel like they were thrown under the bus.
And the reason why this is so big too for the Cubs is that this is going to be a crazy offseason with free agency, and that's going to possibly attract big time free agents to go to Chicago. Even someone like Shohei Ohtani, he might see this and be like, okay.
I will kill myself if the Cubs get Shohei Ohtani. I'm just letting you know. You heard it here first at 7:33 on November 8th. I will off myself if the Cubs get Shohei Ohtani.
Oh God. Man. Oh God. No, Jobo.
He be hitting that stuff further than what Schwarber hit in that division series against the
Right. I mean, it's true, but yeah, the Cardinals already got problems right now because they're not proactive. But career counsel comes in, he brings a different attitude, and you saw what he's done with marginal talent in Milwaukee. Just imagine what he's going to do bringing in certain free agents if that happens with Chicago and how they play. It's going to be scary for St. Louis for a while.
They're in win now mode, I mean,
they're right there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
like you said, they were right in the thick of things until the last week of the season. They were right there.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird because, like, looking at their team on paper, I didn't think it was that great. I mean, you had Cody Bellinger, who's going to win the Comeback Player of the Year award. He was great. He's going to get a very big payday this winter. Justin Steele came out, and he pitched like an ace. Stroman had a really good first half, and he opted out of his contract, by the way. So that's another free agent that's out there now. But they had a lot of good things go their way. But, I mean, go out there, spend the money, then we've seen them do it before, So why not happen again? So it's one thing. I don't feel as bad if the Brewers beat us, but if the Cubs beat us, then I wanna raid. Oh man.
It definitely stings that much worse because it's the Cubs. And another managerial move that just happened today. Shouts out to Ron Washington. He is back as a manager. He used to be the third base coach for the Braves. Prior to that, of course, he was the Texas Rangers manager, and he just had some bad luck thanks to the Cardinals. And I believe before the end of the Giants, when he had his 2 trips to the World Series with the Rangers at that time. But yes, he is now the manager of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, California, Southern District. Now let me stop playing. We got so many names, Jobo. But I think this is going to be a great hire for the Angels. He's a guy who is very well liked, very well respected, and he's also about, he's not too deep into analytics where he's gonna just say, I'm gonna take out this guy after the third inning. No, he's gonna play guys and maximize their talent. So I look forward to seeing what he's going to bring to
You
the
know
Angels.
what's cool about it is, so now take it with a grain of salt, because Bob Nightingale, or what they call him on social media, Boob Nightingale, because he gets a lot of things wrong.
Not
Have you seen what his coaching staff's probably going to be?
no, I haven't seen it yet.
Besides Clint Hurdle, who's going to be a bench coach, it's an all-black coaching staff, which is really cool. So they're going to have Chili Davis, hitting coach, Torrey Hunter as a first base coach, Eric Young Sr. as a third base coach, Clint Hurdle as a bench coach, and Ryan Goins, who's going to be an infield coach. So it's a very big, diverse coaching staff, which is really cool. And also, though, one thing that the Braves are going to win a lot of ball games, but a lot of people talk about Ron Washington, how he's a big part of that winning culture over there. You always see videos of him practicing, not even just with Braves players, but even the away team, with defense and whatnot. He's a very likable guy. So we'll see, and shoot, I mean, you've seen the videos from 2011. He looks fun, he's not that Joe Madden type of fun. He just looks like he's just having fun doing his job. And so I don't think the Angels are going to do much winning still, but that's exciting for them to have someone like that there.
And especially if Ohtani doesn't come back, and then you never know, Mike Trout might just say, you know what, I had enough, let's go. So Ron Washington might be like, man, you know what, matter of fact, he might be like this. If that happens, he's like, yeah, you know what, rip the contract, I'm good. Let me go back to third base coach, because now we're about to be losing. But you never know. Good managers make things happen with whatever talent they have. So once again, shouts out to Ron Washington. Hope for the best. Former catcher Stephen Voigt. He's now the manager for the Indians. So I'm like, man, that makes me feel old. We just hear certain players that you've seen play now are managers. I'll be like,
yeah, I think he just
old.
retired like last year, maybe even this year, honestly. Like, he was literally just playing. So, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting him to be a manager, at least not that fast. So it's good for him, though.
Yeah. So a whole lot going on right now. And as you just witnessed, this is our first segment of
that's hot. That's hot.
There we go.
Can I put a disclaimer out there real quick?
There you go.
Be careful what you're looking at on social media. There's certain people to pay attention to. I don't know if you heard the clip of Derek Gold talking to Bernie Miklasz, but just pay attention to who you're listening to. You got to learn who to trust. I got the real Jeff Passan and the real Ken Rosenthal alerted on my phone. Other than that, you probably don't want to believe anything in the entire MLB, but like, go ahead and alert the Derek Golds and the Katie Woos. There's other people out there that I think they just try to quote things that want to make the fans more mad than they have been in the last 5 years, or get them more excited than they've ever been. So just pay attention. And like, I think it was Ken Rosenthal said, every GM is talking to every agent right now. So if you see something, don't get all excited, because it doesn't mean shit.
Got you.
So
okay.
Just putting that out there. You could probably listen to the Bernie Miklasz clip. Derek Gold went on one, man. He was on a heater, and I've never heard Derek Gold talk like that before. But just pay attention to who you're reading and whatnot.
So it sounds like, is this something internal in regards to St. Louis writers, or just writers in general? It sounds like it's more St. Louis writers.
So I'll say this. There is a St. Louis writer for MLB.com and I will say their X tweets are me and Brennan kind of laugh at them sometimes because they're kind of whatever. But and then also, like Ken Rosenthal said, just don't. Everyone's talking to everyone right now. It's the GM winter meetings, like we've seen multiple times. Red Sox are talking to Jordan Montgomery's agents. Okay, well, I'm sure 29 other teams are too, because Jordan Montgomery had a great freaking year, like, so just testing the waters, seeing what what's what and whatnot. Um, but yeah, there's an MLB writer for the Cardinals that I think he's just kind of get the clicks going and the views going, and maybe that's just how he reports, but
Oh
it's
Lord,
definitely pissed Derek Gold off.
Please don't tell me that the initials are JD.
Yeah.
Oh God, because I'm about to bring up something later on.
I mean, you can bring it up later, but I mean, I'm just saying you should listen to the clip because I've never heard Derek Gold talk like this ever in my life, and he was getting pretty aggressive. He didn't call anyone out, but he mentioned who the person writes for.
Yeah.
And if you read tweets from yesterday, that's who he was talking about.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because he hasn't really gotten a lot of great feedback from a lot of Cardinal followers, the fans throughout the season last year. And yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
right
it's
at his age.
Yeah, it's just it's the time of year where everyone's on the edge of their seats, especially for fans of the Cardinals and the Yankees, like I mentioned, and just even the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are most likely going to get Ohtani. Like, it's a crazy, anxious time of the year. It's going to be a long winter with all this stuff. Just pay attention to who you're putting all your marbles for, because there's certain people that you should trust over others.
Well, I'm gonna go back to doing sources say.
Yeah, sources.
But I think this one right here is pretty cool. Going back to the Texas Rangers real quick in their postseason run. But look at this. I was like, that's crazy. So the Rangers won each of their series pretty much on the road. And the first team was the Rays, R. Second, Orioles, O. Astros, A. And then Diamondbacks in the World Series, D, which spells road. So I thought that was pretty interesting that, that happened. Like, who would have thought? You know what I'm saying?
There's always some weird thing. There's always that one weird thing.
Always. I'm like, wow, that is pretty amazing. And then second, shouts out to Will Smith, and I ain't talking about the actor, I'm talking about the pitcher.
It's funny. I saw a prediction that he'd be good for the Rockies. I'm like, all right, it's coming to an end, or the Rockies are gonna win the World Series.
Right. But what's so crazy about this is that the last 3 World Series champions, he's played on them. So, of course, recently the Rangers. Then last season, it was the Astros. And then 2 years ago, it was the Braves. So to be on 3 different consecutive World Series teams, that's amazing.
It's crazy because he was good for the Braves, sucked for the Astros, and was not good for the Rangers. So he's kind of just like I think Scherzer did not do a single thing for the Rangers the entire time he was there, or Austin Hedges. So they just get participation trophies. I don't know. It's a long season, so whatever. But it's wild. Max Scherzer getting another ring for sucking.
So let's stick with baseball, but talk about our Cardinals, because we talked about the Rangers and how they won the World Series, talking about what the Cubs are doing and everything, which is great. But on Monday, Joe, you messaged me, and I'm going to read this. You says Derek Gould has been reporting some possible fun, exciting stuff for the Cardinals. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but Gould is usually a naysayer when it comes to free agency and the Cardinals. So this is a nice change of pace. And also apparently Blake Snell asked about being a Cardinal. So my response was that I'm going to hold my tongue until I see some big things happening with the Cardinals, because we've been burned too much by this team. And you pretty much said same. That's why you're not excited. So that was on Monday. Tuesday, we had the GM meetings. And sources say that John Mozeliak, so during the season, he was like, yeah, well, we see ourselves looking at possibly 3 pitchers, 3 top of the line starters. for our team, and it would be very critical for us to get into that during the off season. So then, off season is here, and sources are saying that now it suffered him worrying about getting the best pitchers available. Is more about volume. So not the value or getting the best pieces like the Aaron Nolas, like the possible what's the guy from Japan, Jobo?
Yamamoto.
Getting guys like that may cost a lot of money, but maybe that next tier, because as sources say, Mosaic repeatedly mentioned volume, as in the Cardinals need lots of arms to cover all of the innings ahead. While they might not be able to land the top end free agency pitchers, two in the next tier, along with two relievers, might serve them best. Then also, sources say, trades are also an important option. So it's kind of like when we start getting excited about what the organization be saying previously, like, oh my God, you're talking about getting 3 pitchers. Then you're seeing on social media with certain reports about the Cardinals are very serious about being aggressive in the offseason. We're like, okay, wait a minute. But then you hear Mo kind of like change it around and be like, oh, well, we might have to go a different direction because we feel that it's best to have more volume, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? So it just comes from, hey, here we go, to, all right, this man probably going to be signing someone who ain't pitched in 2 years and trying to have a comeback story again, and he might sign this guy. So just what are your thoughts now on your hopes of an offseason that can be some hot stove for the Cardinals, Jobo? Because right now, like I said in the message a couple days ago to you, like, I just can't be excited because they just ain't showing me that they're willing to do something different than what they have been doing.
Yeah, so first I'll say, I mean, last offseason was the most excited I remember ever being about this Cardinals team because of the whole Arenado stuff and Mo saying the payroll's going to go up. And then we saw what happened, and we were kind of just like, okay, we got Contreras. Wayno came back on a very small, salary-friendly contract, and that was it. Did we get anyone else? I don't think we did. I think that was it. And so that pissed me off. And then we see how the year went when, when Mo and at the winter meetings was talking about we have 6 starting pitchers. How did that work out, buddy? Like stuff like that. So, I mean, even going into this offseason with the pitchers that are out there, I wasn't excited or getting my hopes up because I know now. I know what's happening now. Like, I know how this team works. When I sent that message on Monday, that gave me just a little sliver of like optimism because, like I said, Derek, well, I want to say a naysayer. I would just say more of like a realist. He knows how this organization works. He understands how they do business, and it's not throwing money at pitchers. But when he's throwing some names out there like Aaron Nola and Blake Snell and Yoto for like real possibilities for the Cardinals, then I was like, okay, I'm intrigued a little bit. But then also Sonny Gray, which I would be 100% okay with getting Sonny Gray. He's not the top tier, but he's a Cy Young finalist this year in the AL. He's not going to win it, but he had a good year, He's shown that he's pitched in the NL Central before well. And I think you have to pay attention, kind of like what I was saying with we'll call them sources. They're putting out there what they know is, I feel like, is going to kind of get fans riled up.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Gold kind of broke it down a little bit better with Bernie Mikulus. Last year, I don't even think we got to 200 million. The goal is to get up to 200 million now. And obviously we lost some of that money whenever we traded away Stratton, Hicks, and Montgomery and whatnot. So, I mean, there's like, I can't remember how much it is. It's like 60 million to work with. And feel like you could definitely get at least one of those top tier pitchers with that, plus a
Right.
lower guy and a bullpen arm or two. Like, and you don't have to spend all that just in free agency. There's guys out there like Tyler Glasnow and Shane Bieber, Dylan Cease. There's I think his first name's Brian Wu, Logan Gilbert. Like there's guys out there that you can trade for that are going to help out just as much. A name that intrigues me is Trevor Bauer. Is anyone going to be looking into him now that he's been completely, clean
Yep.
slate? All the allegations were bad. He didn't do anything wrong. He started off bad in, was it Japan or Korea? I don't know, overseas where he pitched. He ended his year good. You even have guys like Mookie Betts talking, saying that I love Trev, he's a good guy. He was good for the team, this and that. So I'm curious about that. Is that going to be someone that can go out there and get a 1-year deal, smaller deal to try to prove himself that, he can still do it over here. But I got like a list of guys that I think that are honestly realistic. Giolito, he's went on the record and said, hey, I screwed myself last year. He's like, there is a second half of the season after the All-Star break, and I did not pitch well. And he was even saying that he's not even exactly excited for free agency. Like when you get there, you're usually excited about it because he knows he's probably not going to make what he could have gotten, So like Giolito, Michael Wacha, he's been really good. I know fans probably don't want that, but besides the injuries, he's been really good the last 4 years. Like I think you can get one of the top tiers and then one of those lower tier guys like a Waka, Giolito, Stroman, even Sonny Gray type guys, and then go from there. But there's a lot of relievers out there you can get.
And in regards to the Trevor Bauer thing, of course, last year while he was still in the midst of that, investigation, it would have been a bad time. But I would be 100% behind getting Trevor Bauer or getting guys that's like him that brings a different edge. We all know about the Cardinal way and how you want to get these players who, are not flashy or, the whatever kind of guys, the kind of guys that you'd be like, oh, I would love to just have you meet my mother one day because you're just so wholesome and so great and just so amazing, just so nice. No, this team, and especially in certain positions, we need to have someone who's a little bit rough on the wild side to bring an edge. That's my feeling that this team needs to change in regards to their mindset on who they bring to the team. Stop trying to worry about these. Is he a Christian? Then he, stuff like that. Not hate Christians. I'm just saying, don't have your mindset be he has to be a clean, doesn't have a record kind of guy. You need some rough guys who can bring that edge on the team. And I hope that the Cardinals don't block their blessings because they may see someone's past or how they are and be like, oh, that's just too much for us. We can't handle that because he's going to say too much in the press. He's going to say too much on the team. He might do too much, whatever. Forget all that. Get guys who are winners. Like look at what Tommy Pham has been to the last 3 or 4 teams he's been on. He's been amazing on each team. He may say, I got shot 9 times back in my day, but that's him. That shouldn't stop you from saying, I need this talent on our team.
You need some sort of personality, and like we've seen glimpses of it from. It was an awful year, but it was a year to see young talent. Jordan Walker shows emotion. Mason Wynn shows emotion. We know when Arenado is playing good and he's feeling himself, he shows a lot of emotion. Even at times, Dylan Carlson has, Newt Barr, and shoot, we can even talk about Newt Barr with his ties with Japan. And I mean, that could be huge for the Cardinals, going into 2024 because the dude's going to be on billboards all over the place in Japan right now. So that's great for the Cardinals. But no, you need some sort of character on the team. I mean, like a Chris Carpenter type. And I think guys like Nola kind of fits that bill. He's serious, but whenever he has to be, he could show that emotion. Blake Snell can show the emotion. Obviously, Trevor Bauer, Stroman. Stroman's done it every team he's played for. Like he's very vocal, says what's on his mind, this and that. So I mean, yeah, they have to do something, and I do think bringing back, whether it's in the front office, in the clubhouse, Yachty being there might help out with that, because Yachty was one of the most emotional, whether it was good or bad, players that we've had on our team in the last 3 decades. So that would be nice to see. And Mozeliak said that he expects him to be there at some point next year as something. We don't know yet, but he's going to be something with the Cardinals next year.
So speaking of personality, sources, no, I ain't gonna say it's a possibility, or like sources are saying that they're intrigued by it. But if the opportunity presents itself via trade, and we know his past, we know he's been involved in some stuff, but would you be interested if the Cardinals made a move to acquire Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Well, I mean, obviously, he's exciting and he's good. He proved last year he could play decent to Gold Glove defense in the outfield, and he runs into one here and there. But I mean, I just think you need anyone like that. Honestly, I think a Mason Wynn's going to be that type of guy. So, but yeah, I mean, the more you could get, it's awesome. I think that's why the Padres, even with how bad they were last year, they're so fun to watch with guys like Tatis, Soto, Machado all playing together.
Speaking of Gold Gloves, let's talk about these Gold Glove winners. So we have in the AL, catcher Jonah Heim, first base Nathaniel Lowe, second base Andres Jimenez, third base Matt Chapman. The first 3 guys, the catcher, first base, and second base. I'm like, who?
You don't know who all them are?
I mean, they're not your normal name that you see. You know what I'm saying? They're your household names. Shortstop Anthony Volpe, you brought him up earlier. Left field Stephen Kwan. Center field Mr. Blue Eyes, the man that you'd be like, that's my boo right there.
He's gonna be a Yankee, and I'm gonna hate it.
Adolis Garcia, right field utility. Mauricio
Doobie.
And then pitcher Jose Barrios. Why don't you go and read off the National League?
Yeah, in the NL we have Gabriel Moreno and Christian Walker from the D-backs at catcher and first base. Nico Horner at second base. Brian Hayes dethroned Nolan Arenado at third base. Dansby Swanson at shortstop. Ian Happ in left. Shoot, Cubs got 3. Okay. Brenton Doyle. I'm going to be dead serious with you. When I saw this list, I looked at Brenton and I said, who the hell is Brenton Doyle? Who in the... I am telling you right now.
What?
Like he was just saying last night, we probably watch more baseball than anyone else I know, besides the guys that work at MLB Network. We watch random Rockies games. I don't know who the hell this guy is. Anyways, you got Tatis in right field, Kim for the Padres at shortstop, which he won utility. He played all over the place when Tatis was gone, and then Zach Wheeler for the Phils. So yeah, I mean, it is definitely it's a different vibe all around, honestly.
Do you feel that Ha-Seong Kim was more deserving than Tommy Edman?
I mean, I kind of do. I mean, I know it's a Gold Glove, but Kim just had a good year all around. Like, I mean, when Machado was hurt, he was at third. When Bogarts wasn't playing, he was Cronenworth got hurt early on. Like, he was everywhere, Like, I thought for sure they could have not signed Bogarts and Kim could have been your everyday shortstop and they would have been fine. Like, he's that good. But I mean, Edman was great.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised because Edman was playing Gold Glove center field and shortstop and second base. So,
you know what, though? I'm okay with them not giving it to Eddie because I don't want the Cardinals going into next year and Edmonds our starting center fielder.
Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought it up because I brought this up a few months ago during the season but I'm gonna go ahead and say it now because this kid is on a warpath. Victor Scott. I can see this kid starting center fielder opening day. I'm saying it now. I can see it happening. You know, no one saw Jordan Walker possibly starting right field opening day, but he did. If Victor Scott comes in spring training and he just produces what he's been doing now, getting on base, still in bases, and playing an amazing center field, I see no reason why this dude should not be in center field opening day.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, everything you're seeing. He's been great in the Arizona Fall League. He had 3 swipe bags in the Arizona Fall League All-Star game. Has a good spring training. I think definitely has the chance to be there. You know, like, and it honestly just depends. There's a lot of trade talk situations going on with the Cardinals and their, you know, I can't even think of the word right now, but their surplus of like middle infielder utility type guys. You know, Donnie's and Edmonds and Gormans, you know, those types of guys. So I think it really just depends with that. And then also what type of spring training he has. But he's been an exciting player to keep up with. And if not opening day, he's definitely going to be there by the end of the year. And someone did like a mock trade, and I don't think I could do it because of the guys that are in there. But it was like, we get Dylan Cease and Luis Robert for Victor Scott, Tink Hintz, Graceffo, Gorman, and someone else, I think. And I'm like, no, and Mason Wynn. I'm like, no,
No.
I can't do that because if you're gonna have, you're counting on Mason Wynn and Victor Scott to be part of those guys, you know, 4 guys up the middle. I can't do that, you know, like, you're counting on that.
What's the center fielder name from the Braves who was a rookie of the year last year? Michael
Harris.
Yeah.
The second.
Yeah.
I
thought about him when I'm thinking about Victor Scott. It's like you just come in and make that impact and you just own that position. And I feel like that's what Victor can do, what Michael Harris did for the Braves. So we shall.
I hope so, you know, and this has been from sources and from Derek Gold that, you know, O'Neill's a name to listen to be traded, which I am 100% okay with. You can go 2-3 years back on this show.
Because truthfully, you know, Lawrence Newbar is going to be in left field and right field is going to be Jordan Walker. You know, those two are like solid spots. So you got to think about center field. Like, it's going to be Dylan Carlson, Edmund, Victor Scott. So even Carlson might be, traded as well. You just don't know because you can't have too many guys because
you got to have a bench bat or a guy that's going to, you know, a guy that can play. But that's why I think one of Donnie or Edmund's gone this winter, but like both of those guys can play in the outfield to give a Walker a day off, a Newt Bar a day off, or for injuries. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, the front office is gonna have. It's not. No one's over exaggerating when they say this is the most pivotal, most important offseason that Mo and the Cardinals have had in decades. Like, it's very important that they get this offseason right.
Yeah, and especially coming off of a 90-loss season and seeing more red seasons than you ever seen before. So definitely critical. But let's go ahead and transition from baseball to some NFL talk. Get these scores up on the screen. So we just had week 9. First game up, Steelers and the Titans last Thursday night. Close game. Will Levis, I think he made his second start, and it was against the Steelers. Tennessee lost by 4 points, 2016. Pretty much overall, I think good game for Thursday night. I know these past few weeks hasn't been the best matchups. Last week, I think, was pretty good. In Germany, the Chiefs defeated the Dolphins. And Mario, I know you love the Dolphins, but they getting exposed by playing great teams, man. We had to talk on the Man Cave. The Dolphins, they beaten lower tier teams, but when they face competition, Jobo, they just can get over the hump. And
I mean, they even said it on the broadcast on Sunday, you know, like they're like averaging 30 points against teams below 500, and once they played Chiefs, Eagles, and someone else, and it's like 14 like this, you know. And I have a complaint about to football, to the NFL. I feel like their primetime games, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, besides that Sunday night game, because that's a good matchup, there's been some weird, like I think Brennan said tomorrow's like I can't even remember who he said it's going to be, the Bears and Panthers maybe. What is that? And then also, like, I feel like no one wants to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning to watch two good teams play in Germany. Like, I understand if you want to throw like a bad team and a good team out there, but the Chiefs and the Dolphins, I don't know. You gotta fix that.
Now, I will say this in defense of the NFL, a lot of those games you referring to, you know, like they had Aaron Rodgers in mind when they had the Jets on schedule, and Aaron Rodgers is out, and you know, right now it's too early to do flex in regards to taking him away from Monday night to have him play Sunday, you know, whatever it is, because they were begging on certain players to be healthy, and it just turned out the wrong way because now they ain't available. So now it makes the matchup worse. So trust me, NFL, when it comes to Sunday night games and Monday night, especially those two nights, they want to make sure they have marquee matches, but they can't predict exactly. Which did affect the Vikings and the Falcons game. Kirk Cousins last week tore his ACL, so he out for the rest of the year. But here comes Joshua Dobbs, who 2 weeks ago played with.
He had a hell of a game, man.
Hell of a game. He didn't know the cadence. He didn't know players' names, and they still won. He was actually NFL Offensive Player of the Week as well. So shouts out to Josh Dobbs. Incredible job, Vikings.
There was some crazy scenarios going on, or possible scenarios that could have happened. So in the Vikings game, they're like, what was it? Their third string quarterback was hurt. So like, if Dobbs got hurt, they didn't know who was going to be the quarterback. And then we'll get to the Texans game, but their kicker was hurt. And shoot,
I saw that. Yep, I saw that. The Browns just destroyed the Cardinals. Green Bay destroyed the Rams. Let's talk about it. Houston, CJ Stroud. Oh my God, this dude here. All these teams who picked, like Carolina, who picked Bryce Young, and whoever else picked a quarterback before CJ Stroud, are like, what did we just do? Because CJ Stroud is making it look easy, Jobo. And he had an amazing game against the Buccaneers, showed out, and they're buzzing right now in Houston, and they haven't had that kind of buzz probably since what's his name was quarterback. He with the Browns, Deshaun Watson. I mean, he was on fire back then for the Texans, but CJ Stroud is playing amazing. So south to him.
I know, as soon as they had that drive in the fourth quarter with like 30 seconds left or whatever, I was like, CJ Stroud is a dude. Like, he doesn't look phased whatsoever.
And then, like you said before, their kicker got hurt, so they had to have I believe he's either a running back or tight end. I forgot. I gotta find out real quick, but he was a different position football player, and he kicking field goals and stuff.
Yeah, like so, he nailed that field goal, and they showed Baker, and he was like, "Okay, that's tip your cap, you know, like what do you do?"
Like pretty impressive. Okay, it's amazing. Shouts out to D'Amico Ryans, his first year as a head coach, and New Orleans Saints defeated the Bears. The Colts defeated the Panthers, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. That game right there, Cowboys had opportunity to win. Of course, they crumbled against the Eagles. And then the Las Vegas Raiders, who just fired Josh McDaniels, as their head coach. Now has former player Antonio Pierce. He's their head coach. He's brought a whole new energy to the team, and they won against the Giants 30-6, y'all. Just amazing game, and reports are saying that Antonio Pierce, he just, like I said before, brings a different energy. He's allowing players to be more loose, play to their strengths. I believe he has close to an all-black coaching staff, so the Raiders are just doing things differently now. And it was so amazing because I saw post-game in the locker room. You saw teammates, they in there like it's a club. Like they were celebrating like they won a Super Bowl. Like that's how crazy it was. And just seeing Antonio Pierce get the love, and if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to eventually be the official next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. But all good vibes right now in Vegas with what Pierce is doing after just one game. Sunday Night Football. Joe Bo, the Bengals are back. If you didn't know, now you know. The Bengals are back. Joe Burrow, he is healthy. He is ready. This team is on a roll, and I don't see a team that can stop them. What are your thoughts on the Bengals?
I picked them to be in the Super Bowl. I almost said the World Series. I picked them to be in the Super Bowl and to win the whole dang thing. Started off a little scary there, like I feel like in football you can't say it's a long season like baseball because it's not really that long of a season.
Right, like that.
So I got a little nervous, but Joe Burrow is back. He's looking healthy. He's back, and I don't know. I just like the Bengals, and I like looking at Joe Burrow's face. So that's that.
All right. And before I continue on, we got someone who's going to join us for some more football talk. Hail from DC. He is the blackest man on radio and now on your screen. Craig Black, what is happening?
What's going on? What's up? What's up?
What up,
Joe? What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Heard
you. Yeah, man.
Heard you talking about them Bengals and that dude face, Joe.
I like Joe Burrow, man. I don't know what he's not even like, oh my gosh, but he's something.
Joe Cool is who he is. But hey, Miss Williams, how you doing? I guess I'm here. What's going on, Smooth?
Man, everything is good, man. I appreciate you being on, taking some time out to join us on the main show this evening, man. Talk about some football and everything. So, I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate y'all having me. I appreciate being
yes, sir.
here. Talking my favorite subject right about now, some football. That's good.
So we pretty much highlighted the Thursday night and the Sunday night games as well. Was there any game outside, of course, your Commanders did beat the Patriots? Now, I do want to say this because, Joe, sources say that if New England loses this game in Germany Sunday, that they may fire Bill Belichick.
Oh,
get out of here!
No, I don't know what sources you hearing from. That's not.
And that's the JD one. He's in the wrong sport.
But that's what. So I'm just saying, stay tuned because if they do lose, and this has been multiple sources, so not just one source. There's been multiple sources that have said this, and I heard it on 101 ESPN radio as well. So it might be true, but stay tuned. But your thoughts, Craig, in regards to your Commanders?
Oh, my Commanders! You want to talk about some real football? Okay. Well, I'll be honest with you, man. We made some big moves, moving Chase and moving on from Montez Sweat, and we wish Chase all the best. He's a hometown favorite, and it was. I think it's all about the money. It's a business. Chase is due to come up to have a big payday, and he's I don't know if he's 100% or what 80%, 70% like that. I think he just thrive a lot better in that 49er system than with us right now. Dealing with what we have as a coordinator, fire Jack Del Dumbo. What we have as a coordinator, I think, it's a lot better. You know, sometimes you got to leave home to thrive. So this is a good thing. And once again, it's a money deal too, because look, Montrez Sweat, he was due to a big payday, and he got it. I'm truly amazed. Let's clap it up for what is it, dude? Rich. What is LeBron's got? Clutch Sports. He got 72 million guaranteed over 4. Guaranteed. They paid this guy Montez Sweat 72 million guaranteed. Rich Paul, that's my man, Rich Paul. I mean, much respect goes out to him and Clutch Sports, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Montez Sweat is a good defensive end, but he 72 million guaranteed. I'm not seeing that. What are you going to pay Michael Parsons and who else? The Pittsburgh Steelers, JT, whatever his name, TJ Watt. What are they going to get? What are they going to get if you giving Sweat 72 million guaranteed? I'm like, wow, that's something serious. But outside of that, we got to win, and that's the bottom line. We needed to win. we had to win. Coming off of, I think, 3 straight losses. This against a not so good team. We made it. You know, it was kind of hard to even get that win. You know, so I don't know. It is what it is.
We talked about it earlier, but I want to hear your thoughts about Houston, Texas, and what D'Amico Ryans is doing, and of course CJ Stroud.
Stroud is hitting his stride right now. That's what I think. I mean, he's showing that he can be. He's a baller. You know, I mean, I don't know. Houston, I think it's going to be Houston by the end of the season, but I think Stroud is going to keep on doing his thing. I don't see Houston making a big run, making a playoff run, anything like that. I just think Stroud is going to improve, and they need to do something in the draft to get him some more pieces all around him on the other side of the ball as well. You know, on defense as well. You know, but you know, he's a good player. You know, he is. You know.
And yeah, right now they're second in the AFC South, and they're right there in 4-4. So like they're right in the thick of things. And,
I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I'm saying that right now. They're 4-4 right now. I don't see them making the playoffs.
Right, because pretty much the way, and I'll show you in a second, but the way the AFC North is lined up, like you have to win your division to get into the playoffs, because you might have 4 AFC North teams in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, we shall see. Was there any other game on the screen that got your attention?
You know, I'm all about my division. So you know what I'm gonna say, and people gonna like think I'm crazy right now, but I've been thinking this for a couple of weeks now, and I believe I do not. Let me put this. Let me say this first. I hate the Dallas Cowboys with a passion. Okay, all right, okay. Let's just get that out. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing goes for those Philadelphia Beagles. Those fans are the worst fans in football. Okay, all right. Part of my division. But I'm gonna say this about Dak Prescott. I think they're putting too much criticism, too much everything on Dak, like he's a bum. You know, they talk about Dak like he's just the worst quarterback ever. And I'm like, what? I mean, I'll be honest with you. We got Sam Howell, and he's doing good right now. He's a great young quarterback. But before the season started, if you just asked me, will we take Dak Prescott to start on my Washington Commanders? I'm like, hell yeah, give me Dak. I'll take Dak. And all those interceptions y'all been talking about. Yes, I'll take Dak as a starting quarterback. I'm just getting tired of all that. It just seems like, you know, I'm not a Dak fan either, because he did some Fugazi stuff during the whole kneeling thing with Kaepernick, the things that he said and all that. I'm not a fan of his, but on the field right now, I believe he's a lot better than what they're putting out there. The way they're portraying this man on the field as playing, he's a lot better than what they're talking about. That's just my whole spiel, you know. Once again, not a Dallas fan, can't stand them or the Eagles. That's just my 2 cents.
And for real, they need to put all that energy towards their head coach in Dallas.
Yeah. But I don't care what they do. They can keep talking about them all they want, as long as they don't win. You know, we got in order for us to make the playoffs, we're gonna have to sweep our division going out because we done lost one to the Giants and we got swept by the Eagles. So we got 2 more against Dallas, 2 games against Dallas, and 1 against the Giants. So if we can win those 3 games, we may be able to squeak. I don't know. If we go on a little winning streak, we may be able to back our way into the playoffs and make this somewhat of a good season. But that's a wish and a prayer. That's a wish and a prayer. But
look at them Lions.
So, right. So who do you see right now, Craig, as the best team in the NFC now after week 9?
The Eagles. I don't even want to say it. All right, can I lie? You
ain't gotta lie, Craig. You ain't gotta lie.
Oh man, I hate to say it because I would love to say the 49ers, but it's them Philadelphia Eagles right now. They're the best team in the NFC. They got the best record, and I really believe the 2 games that we played against them, we could have won both of those games. Both of those games, the Commanders played again. We're a touchdown. We're a couple of plays away from winning both of those games. So, but all around, they just, they go as Jalen Hurts go, and how whatever that receiver, that dude Brown is a monster. AJ Brown is a beast out there, man. And that's
Niners have been falling a little bit here lately.
Yeah, the Niners. That I think, I don't know. It's not a pretty thing right now.
Don't let T-Bone get all. He's gonna come on Man Cave later on. He's gonna be sad.
That's not a pretty thing with them 49ers. But it's still, a lot of games left. I mean, how many games we got left? We got like 8 more games in the season. So it's a lot of things can change.
Yeah, Craig, I would say it's not looking too purdy in San Fran right now. So
nah, it's not at all. Not at all.
And then Jobo, who you see as the best team in the NFC?
Wow, I didn't realize. But go ahead, go right
in the
ahead,
NFC,
Joe.
you said?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to argue the Eagles, but just because there are guys that I want to see something different, go with the Lions. The Lions, baby, let's go. Jared Goff and the Lions. Look at them, 6-2.
I find surprising on here is them New Orleans Saints sitting at 5-4 right now. That's that really, I didn't realize. Wow.
I'm not surprised because of the division.
Yeah, the division is terrible. It is a bad division.
Yeah. What's more surprising to me is the NFC West. I did not see San Fran losing 3 in a row, and now them in Seattle are right there. So that's my shocker in the NFC. AFC. Now this is gonna be good here. Who do y'all look at right now as that team in the AFC? I'm gonna go ahead and say right now the Chiefs are still the cream of the crop. Of course, they won Super Bowl, so they still have that ranking for me. But you got some teams right there with them, or right behind them, or some that's on the way up. Craig, who you got?
Based off of, sorry, you can go.
I haven't seen Baltimore play too much. I'm only seeing some highlights, and I didn't realize. You know what? I haven't been looking. I've been so focused on my Commanders, I have not noticed these records right now. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't realize Baltimore is 7-2.
Right.
Wow. And Jacksonville right there at 6-2. I mean, but you can't. You can't discount the Mahomes and the champions. You can. I mean, come on now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna roll with KC and tell somebody. The Bengals are hot right now, but until you dethrone the champions, I'm rolling. Taylor Swift will show up to a game and they'll score 1,000 points on. So.
Come on, Greg. You haven't been watching Ladies Night lately.
Come on now.
I can't stand that talk.
Come on now. It is what it is. Kelsey gets into a whole nother something about them Swifties when they
Oh, not the Swifties, not the Swifties.
something about them Swifties in KC. You can't do nothing with them when she show up. So
speaking of, Patrick Mahomes' wife was posting pictures of her and Taylor. The two most annoying human beings on this planet. Anyways, though, Tyreek Hill said it best last week. If you just cover Kelsey, he has no one else to go to. Like they didn't make any trades for any, offensive threats, no receivers or anything. So
I didn't understand
like,
that either. Go right here. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Like obviously, like they're the champions. Going into this year, I thought the Astros were gonna go back to back because I'm a fan and because they're the champions. But you look at the Ravens and Jacksonville even. Trevor Lawrence, I think he's the real deal too. Honestly, I think so. I don't know. Obviously, you got to go Chiefs, but Baltimore, Jacksonville's looking a little more, complete. And then obviously, I love the Bengals. So yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm my bad. I was gonna say, but Smooth, you go ahead and do your thing.
Oh no, you go ahead first.
I was gonna say, what's up with Miami?
That's the team I'm about to bring up.
No, you go right ahead. You go right ahead.
They suck against better teams. They know how to dominate against teams that's beneath them. Like when they play the Falcons and whatever else teams, or the Jets, teams like them, they can destroy them. But when you play those upper echelon teams like the Bills, I can't really call them upper echelon no more because they suck pretty much too. But when they played the Eagles, when they played this past week against the Chiefs, it's like they play against better competition and they just can't do it. They can't perform. They don't have that free offense that they had against other teams. And they're just getting exposed by better teams. And right now, yes, they lead the East by one game, but you just can't trust Miami right now. It seems like there's something about them that when they face better teams, they just can't get it. And that's also my concern about the Ravens. Yes, they're 7-2. They're playing amazing. But how many times have you seen the Ravens, Craig and Joe, get into the playoffs and then Lamar Jackson just chokes? He needs to find a way to get that off his system. Remember all the times when Peyton Manning would go to the playoffs, but then he couldn't get over that hump until he finally did? That's what Lamar Jackson has to do because he has a reputation of, he'll play MVP caliber, football, and they'll get to the playoffs. But once the playoffs start, womp, 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 it's this downhill.
You ain't lying. And he got a lot of pressure on him too with that deal he just cut. So
right.
I don't know. I want Lamar to do well, but not too well. Well, not too well because they're too close to us, and I don't want to hear them talking all that smack. So it's a double-edged sword with me with them dirty bird, them rat birds. We call them the rat birds with them rat birds up in Baltimore.
All honesty, real quick, since we're in the AFC, how much better do you think the Jets would be right now if Rodgers was healthy?
Oh man.
They're 500, which is, I feel like I go on social media all the time and I see they have an injury like every other day. But obviously Rodgers is the main one, so I wonder just how much better they would be, or exciting at least, if he was still healthy.
I would say they'll have probably 2, possibly 3 more wins, because if you saw that game this past Monday night against the Chargers, Zach Wilson, he just flat out missed wide open receivers. And that's something that Aaron Rodgers just does not do. Zach Wilson has cost his team games because of the lack of playmaking that he does. So that's why I say if you had Aaron Rodgers, they probably had 3 more wins in the season right now. Because
so they'd be up there with the Dolphins, Ravens, Chiefs, and Jaguars.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say they probably be, if anything, they would have 1 more win, because look at Aaron Rodgers' last couple of seasons that he's played in Green Bay. He started off slow. He started off real slow, and this is like the beginning of the season right now, and I don't think they would have came out like gangbusters and would have did anything better than 5-4 right now. I mean, with Rodgers playing, he probably between the next 3 to 4, I would say 4 to 5 games, he probably would have righted the ship. But right now, I think they're right where they would be, or one more game, or I see them 5-4, because just how Rodgers has looked the last couple of years, even with, I mean, that Green Bay team, they talk about this defense, this super defense that they have, and they look okay on defense. Their defense is not, I don't know what they're ranked, but from what I've seen them play, they didn't look that dominant to me. Like they're just like the best defense out there right now. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of film on them, but I did watch that Monday night game because I was, I had the Chargers defense on my fantasy football, so I was paying attention to that game big time. And we'll go one more thing real quick in the AFC with Jacksonville with that record right now. I'm so mad at that dude Trey Lance. Well, no, what's the quarterback for Jacksonville? What's his name?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. I'm so mad at Trevor Lawrence because they're not using Calvin Ridley the right way. They're not getting him the ball at all. I mean, I don't know what's going on. He's killing me in fantasy right now. Need to get Calvin Ridley the damn ball and more, because I don't know. They just terrible over there. I don't know how he's like the number 3 wide receiver right now. It's pissing me off, but that's just my 2 cents because I'm losing the fantasy real bad because Ridley's not doing it.
That's what it is. And Jobo, Houston Texans are playing the Bengals next too. So that's going to be a nice test for CJ Stroud.
Yeah. You know what's funny is like, we know I'm not the biggest football expert fan out there. I can't
amazing.
I mean, this week I watched a lot of football with Brendan. I was, trying to stay calm before the next Metallica concert, so I just watched a lot of football this Sunday. But no, I mean, I like the Texans because, of all my friends and people I follow on social media with the Astros, I see it everywhere, and I was excited for them when they drafted Stroud. But then we all know, again, like, Joe Burrow is Tatum to me, so Greg Black, if you don't know, Jason Tatum, he does some things. All right.
I hear that. Wow.
All right. So transitioning, week 10 college football takeaways, and man, I'm going to get started with this because it hits home to me. But Mizzou, oh my God, Mizzou again. They had an opportunity to defeat the number 2 ranked team in the college football rankings at the time, the Georgia Bulldogs. It was at Georgia. It was a huge game on CBS, the whole world watching. They had the opportunity. Sadal and I was watching the game on the tablet, and I mean, Mizzou was right in the game. And then they had a drive, Craig, Joe, fourth quarter, with about maybe 8 minutes or so left to go. They were down by 6. And I told Steve and I told Sadal, I said, guys, this is the drive that can change our whole season around in regards to possibly a college football playoff game. Because if you beat Georgia, then you got Tennessee next, you got Florida, then you got Arkansas, and then, of course, the SEC championship game. But this win, I mean, this drive could catapult Mizzou to an even higher tier. You know what I'm saying? Especially being the SEC. So, as soon as I said, this is the drive to change the season, this happened.
Ball game. Miller in motion. Cook rolls right. Oh, he threw it away and it's picked off. That's Stackhouse to the 20. Stackhouse down to the the 5. Georgia. Flag is down. Nazir Stackhouse.
But you know what? I put it in the group chat. I was watching Cook is his name. Is that his name? Cook?
Brady Cook.
That's my first time really watching him play. I was at work and the TV was on, and I was like, you know what? This quarterback for Mizzou is not bad at all. Remember, I sit down. I don't know if you noticed in the group chat for the man cave. I was like, he's kind of nice. I was watching. He was doing his thing, and as soon as I said that, he threw that interception.
All right, so see, I blamed Michelet and Fred for Gal giving up the no-hitter a week from today. I'm going to blame you again for Brady Cook and you, Greg Black, for saying he's good. This could be the change of Mizzou's history, yada, 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 and he threw the pick. But I will say, I mean, it's Georgia. You know, I mean, haven't they won like 2 in a row? They're undefeated for like 2.5 years. Yeah. I mean,
since baby girl was born.
So I mean, since baby, that's a long time. I'm just saying. I mean, it at the end there, the last 2 Mizzou drives, you would have thought it was like a bad game, but the game as a whole, it was pretty good for Mizzou to go to their territory and put up a decent fight.
Yeah. And what is going to be critical now is that next week, in a couple of days, they play back at home against Tennessee, which they are ranked 13th in the BCS, one above Mizzou. I'm sorry, in the college football rankings, one above Mizzou. Mizzou cannot get to a point where they're so distraught that they can't come up with a win on Saturday against Tennessee. They cannot lose their momentum. Yes, the hurt is gonna, the game from playing against Georgia is gonna hurt them, of course. But you cannot take that energy from losing that game and come out with a flat, poor performance and allow Tennessee to go into Faroe Field on Saturday and have them win that game over Mizzou. Mizzou has to come back and prove that they belong in the top tier of the SEC, which means the top tier in college football. I really hope Mizzou does not get into that funk where they just like, oh, you know what, it's over. You can't get into the college football playoff now, so who cares what happens next? No, you got to keep going and you got to win. And let me go and show y'all this. The new college football playoff rankings. As you see, once again, 14 is Mizzou. Tennessee, number 13. Number 1 is Ohio State. 2 is Georgia. 3, Michigan. That's might have an asterisk on Michigan right now because it ain't looking too good if you've been hearing the reports in regards to Michigan.
Like number part of New England or something, yeah.
Right. Number 4, Florida State. And so, like I said, man, if Mizzou would have beat Georgia at Georgia, Mizzou would have been probably top 5. Seriously, like that's how big the game would have been. That's how that drive, if they would have been productive on that drive, they could have been probably top 5, definitely top 10, but they could have probably been around that top 5 range. But the goal is for Mizzou, in my mind, is to get a New Year 6 bowl. You know what I'm saying? One of those big high bowls that's played on New Year's Day against a quality opponent at a great venue to end the season. So I hope that Mizzou just does not lose it and don't play hard and kind of like, you know what, I'm over it.
I didn't realize Florida State was ranked that high. Wow.
Right, oh yeah, they balling right now. Another team that's not on here anymore after their loss last week against the Washington Huskies, who are ranked number 5, is USC. And I know y'all probably saw it on social media. Y'all saw the game, the highlights, whatever. and Caleb Williams. He was very hurt, and this happened here. Guys, just give me your thoughts about this scene here. He goes to the crowd after the game. He realizes that their chances to win, to go to the college football playoff is over, and it has hit him. And social media, being social media, certain pundits, certain writers, whatever, they're saying that was too much. Like he's showing too much emotion. He shouldn't be doing all that. Should have kept in the locker room. But Joe, with you seeing that, what are your thoughts on Caleb Williams on TV, going to the crowd, to his parents, and showing that kind of emotion?
I mean, I'm fine with it. Like we talk about now, it's okay for a grown man to show a little bit of emotion. I mean, you see guys in dugouts or on the bench after, they lose a championship or something and they're crying, getting paid millions of dollars crying. They're upset. So I mean, why not? That's where they're heading. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. I mean, it's social media that you're gonna get ripped on for honestly anything now.
Yeah, I think they just, it is what it is. He just having a bad. It's just the whole team. They're just having a bad year. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think this is going to affect his draft stock at all, though. I think he'll still be one of the top, if not top 5, top 10 picks in the NFL draft coming up this year. They saying what they saying, and if he's not, whoever gets him, it's going to be a steal because he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in this draft class, if not the best quarterback coming out in this draft class next year. So I don't. They're gonna hate. They always lift you up to bring you down, and he's not having that marquee season. So and he shows some emotion. It's going to happen. They're going to be on you. They're going to get on you. That's the media.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, man, he's going to be just fine. He's going to be top 5, top 10, whatever. Probably be the second quarterback chosen in the draft coming up. So he's going to be just fine. And it's not a problem showing emotion. It happens in college basketball during, March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
They be crying on the bench. So why is that different? Because it's football. You know what I'm saying? So sorry, man. Show that emotion. It's needed. But speaking of needed, man, definitely appreciate you being on for the Football Talk. Craig Black.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Real quick, and I know it's early. But your thoughts on the Wizards right now?
Trash. Garbage. Trash. I wish I had that comedian saying trash. They some trash. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. We didn't expect anything or nothing from our Wizards this year. We have a team that we're in a straight rebuild mode. Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma are leading this team, and that's it is what it is right now. We lost our marquee guy, St. Louis's own Bradley Beal. It's like we're in this place right now, and we've been in this place for a long time, and it's like we need to make some major changes. Again, we need to find that star. We got to find a star. We got to find somebody to be the face of this franchise. We got to find somebody that's going to actually lead us to a playoff run, like back when John Wall was like 100% healthy. I just think it's sad, man. It's real difficult right now to be a DMV DC/DC sports fan. Dealing with our Commanders that are up and down. We had a lot of hype coming into the season just because of the management, just because we got rid of, because of the ownership, because we got rid of Danny. And, we had some high expectations of how, and our defense, which was supposed to be the anchor of our squad, Commanders wise, it just hasn't panned out. And now we have our Wizards coming in. The Nationals were bad. The Mystics were bad. The Capitals are having to keep track of them. It's just hard right now being a DMV sports fan. And these Wizards just they're not going to be I'll be surprised if we win 30 games. If we win 30 games this year, it'll be a success. If we just won, I think we just won tonight. We beat another bad team by the Charlotte Hornets, but you know, it is what it is. Crazy things have happened. Maybe we can pull off a little something and go on a winning streak or something. I don't know. It just doesn't look good. I don't know what it is. We just don't have. We don't play defense. That's the main thing about our Wizards. You know, we can run up and down the court. You know, we can shoot with the best of them and do all that. But we can't stop nobody. No, we just can't. We cannot stop anybody. It's just from this small sample size we had this season. We just don't. I don't know. I wasn't expecting a lot. I'm a diehard fan. I'm just as much a Wizards fan as I am a Commanders fan. I love all my home team. All my teams I'm a big fan of. So it's like, you know, it's difficult. It's hard to, you know, when you haven't had an NBA championship since 1977. You know what grade I was in 77? I was a first grader in 77.
I wasn't even a thought in my mama's mind.
That's how old I am. I was in the first grade, and I don't even remember nothing about that championship. It's like, come on now. At least I can remember some of my old Washington Redskins championships. It's just, I don't know. It's
and you know, man. And what makes it worse is that Bradley Beal is making his debut tonight for the Suns.
Yes, he is. Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Miss Dub says she was in high school.
Well, appreciate that, Miss Dub. Well, salute to Bradley Beal, man. It is what it is. But y'all have a great show. I appreciate y'all having me. I'm gonna be out.
Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all check us out. Man Cave.
Yep. Man Cave, man. You have a good one, brother.
All right. See you, Jobo. Bojo.
See you.
Bojo.
Jobo. To Miss Williams, it's Bo now, but it's Joe. Have a good night.
All right. Peace.
There we go. That was Craig Black, the blackest man on radio, on TV. Everywhere you go, the blackest man is right there. This is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. Your boy Smooth along with
Jobo.
There we go. And Joe, it's time for some Joe Knows. The Blues, they lost last night. They've been pretty consistent on being inconsistent. But this past weekend, they won 2 in a row. It was like, okay, here we go. Got some wins going, you know, to beat the Devils, to beat the Canadians. And then last night, they faced the Jets, and the Jets looks like they have their number, just like the Arizona Coyotes have the number as well. But your thoughts so far on the early season of the Blues?
What's funny is like how different a week can be, you know, not shooting the puck a week ago. And now, you know, except for last night, we scored 2 goals. The last 2 games, we scored 5 goals each, you know? So, I mean, they're showing signs of life and little excitement, but still, there's still only 1 power play goal this year. And that is an issue. They're going to have to figure that out because that's not okay. But no, I mean, there's a couple of guys that I think are off to kind of slow starts, like Shen and Verana. Krug, I think, just had his first point last night, but I don't want to say it's early, but it's somewhat early, you know, like 11, 12 games in. So, I mean, they got time, but at least they showed us some life. We got 1 more game at home tomorrow, and then after that we go to Colorado again, and then we're back home. So win tomorrow, you feel good. And I think Chris Kerber said on social media that if you won last night, you're like a point out of first place. So I mean, right now they're afloat. They give you something to be excited about.
So what do you feel is missing from this team?
Still think defense is an issue, honestly. Like I said last week that, you know, Bennington's been better this year. He's been one of the highlights of the team so far, but I don't know, maybe it sounds stupid to say because we scored 5 goals the last 2 games, but just some like goal scorers, and not just goal scorers like fancy goal scorers, but you remember in 2016 when Troy Brower was just like one of those guys that got for the net and made things
Yep.
happen. Last night there was a lot of chances, that there's a really good point to make that they could have scored 6-7 goals last night with all the opportunities they had, but they just weren't capitalizing. They weren't burying the puck. So, like Troy Bauer was that type of guy, and David Backes was that type of guy. At times, David Perron was kind of that guy, and Schwartzy even. So they don't need that fancy, silky mitts type guy, but I think that they're missing something. And it's just a player that just gets in the scrum in front of the goalie and kind of just taps
Cause
the puck
havoc.
in. Yeah, gets the rebounds and whatnot. So maybe
Yeah.
that guy's on this team. Maybe it's Vrana once he gets things going at some point. I mean, Shen only has like 2 goals, I think. So I mean, it's early. I don't like saying that, but it's early, and hopefully, they turn that part around. Like I said, it's hard to complain too much right now when they won 2 of their last 3 games and they scored 12 goals in those 3 games. But win tomorrow night, and let's see. But I do think that's what they're missing, is someone that's in the blue paint and, like you said, cause havoc.
And what has been your thoughts on the start of Bennington? Because it sounds like to me he's came in with a different attitude and he's been holding things down. Has your mind? I know it's still early, but has your mind, the thoughts changed in regards to his play this season?
Yeah, I mean, like I said it last week, he's been better, that's for sure. I don't know if last year and the year before were just, like just that down year that he was gonna have, but obviously 2019 is what it was, and the COVID season, bubble season, he was still great. The Blues were great leading up to the whole pandemic. So, but I do think the defense has something to do with that. But he's definitely showing that he seems to be back to his 19, 20, 21 ways, and he's been looking a lot better, that's for sure. Don't let last night score phase you. Like,
oh no,
yeah, defense hasn't been great, and you still have to stop the puck, but there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I think he's turned the corner this season. Coach Pareko has stepped up a whole lot defensively, and Robert Thomas be more aggressive shooting the puck. Because how many times have you said, Robert Thomas, shoot the puck? But
him
he's
and
finally
Cairo,
doing it.
honestly. But I mean, Pareko was like the number one guy, like the number one X factor, the guy that had to be better this year, and he's looking a little better, So I even almost thought about picking him up for my fantasy team, but I didn't want to jinx it. So
yeah, but know how you are with Jenks. And then like with Jordan Cairo, it sounds like he is becoming a more all-around player too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he was going to be that, though. I mean, he's young. He's very young. Last year was just a weird freaking year. You traded all these veterans away and whatnot, and it probably felt like everything was on his shoulders. And then you had the off season where there's all these reports of him and Chief not getting along, and Chief doesn't like him, and this and that. So, but yeah, I mean, I think him and Thomas, they're like, those are the cornerstones of this team. Like, they're going to be holding things down for years to come, I think. So, unless they get traded, which I don't see happening, those are your guys. Those are your goal scorers, and eventually they're going to be your leaders on the team.
And that is Joe Knows. Our last segment, some real quick NBA talk. The season is still super early. Miss Dub, I definitely want to get your opinion. What has been your thoughts, Miss Dub, in regards to the NBA in-season tournament, which started and debuted last Friday? A few teams had some interesting courts. It was all colorful. One of the worst courts I've seen were the Chicago Bulls, but I believe these games are being played like on Fridays for the next few weeks. Then, depending on how you do in group play, you move on. Eventually, you'll be playing the finals in Las Vegas. But season's early. Teams still trying to find themselves right now. My Lakers not looking too good right now. And guess who's hurt, Jobo, for the Lakers? Let's take a wild guess at who's hurt right now.
AD.
Bingo.
I know a little bit.
That and see, it's crazy because if you know a little bit and that came out of your mouth, it's the problem. So yeah, AD, he's hurt right now. He has, I think they said a abductor strain. He suffered that against the Miami Heat the other day. So get well, AD. But I want to highlight this: Christmas games coming up. It's always some great games on Christmas, and this year does not disappoint. As the Bucks will face the Knicks at New York. The 76ers will face the Heat in Miami. This matchup here, though, the rivalry, Celtics at Lakers. Let's go. Mavericks at the Suns. That should be a great matchup. And then lastly, the Warriors at the Nuggets. And matter of fact, those two teams are playing tonight as well, the Nuggets and the Warriors. So for the basketball people, I hope you are, enjoying the season so far. Once again, we know it's early. Teams still trying to get their bearings and everything. But the NBA is back. College basketball is back. Your Wednesday night sports delight is back, of course. And this has been another, I feel, great show, Jobo. Talking about a lot of baseball. Get into everything. Once again, CDSC. NFL, college football. So I think we pretty much hit a lot of good stuff tonight.
No, it was a good show. Shoot, some of my favorite shows is when just me and you be talking baseball. So good show. And I even had a decent amount to say about football, so it was a change of pace.
Yeah, I was impressed. I mean, look at Jobo talking the stats and this player do this, and when this team play this team, and hey, I love it. So you're evolving, Jobo. No, I'm sorry, Bo. You are evolving. But I appreciate you like always, and I hope even though her school is losing pretty bad against SLU, hope that Bunny is enjoying her time at the game. And Miss Dub, thank you very much. Stay tuned for next week. We do plan on having a special guest. I don't want to give out the clues yet. I'll just wait on.
I don't even know yet, y'all. So bear with us.
And because I'm waiting for certain things to happen before I put it out there. So just stay tuned. But just know that next week and of course weeks beyond that, it's gonna be amazing. Plus, next week is yours truly and Miss Dub's birthday week. So we gotta do it real big next week. So definitely stay tuned. And for all those y'all already know, the platform Sports Talk Show. Give us a follow everywhere on social media. We appreciate y'all support. 6 years plus running every freaking Wednesday of your life, or at least 2 hours of your night. Just enjoy everything that you've been hearing and seeing from the platform Sports Talk Show. It's your boy Smooth along with
Joe.
Y'all have a great rest of y'all evening. We are out.